You ever see a brand new product come out and just think to yourself, who? Who is this for? Yeah, it happens all the time. We get so wrapped up in our own cool ideas that we completely forget to ask the most important question of all. Are we actually solving a real problem for a real person? Well, guess what? There's a much better way to build things, a process that forces us to answer that question right from the start.
And this quote from Jesse James Garrett, he just nails it. It's all about understanding what people truly need, how they think, and what they actually do. See, starting with that deep human understanding, not with a solution you've already dreamed up, that is the absolute heart of a really powerful way to solve problems.
And that framework is called design thinking. Now, this is way more than just another corporate buzzword. It's a real structured way of tackling innovation that puts human needs right at the center of everything. It's about building with people, not just for them.
So what does this actually look like? Well, here's our roadmap. It's got 5 steps. It kicks off with empathize and define. This is what's called the problem space, where we really dig in to understand people. Then, we jump into the solution space with ideate, prototype, and test. That's all about bringing ideas to life. So let's start at the very beginning. All right, part 1, finding the real problem. This part is so important. Before you even start dreaming up a solution, you have to be 100% sure you're working on the right challenge in the first place.
So this is the million-dollar question, right? How do you figure out what people really need? Because we can't just guess. We can't just rely on what we think they need. The answer, luckily, is baked right into the very first step of the process.
The answer is to empathize. This is the bedrock for everything else. It means getting out of your own head, out of your office, and into the world of the people you're trying to help. It's all about active learning, listening, and just watching. So how do you actually do that? Well, you get out there. You don't just send out a survey. You talk to people face to face. You go and watch them in their natural environment to see what they actually do, which is often totally different from what they say they do. And most importantly, you ask those big, open-ended questions. Not, do you like this? But, why is that important to you? Or, how did that make you feel?
Okay, so after all that listening and observing, you are going to have a mountain of notes and insights. The next step, define, is where you start to make sense of it all. This is where you take everything you just learned and boil it down into one single, focused problem statement. And the trick here is to frame that problem as an opportunity. So instead of a dead-end statement like, the checkout process is confusing, you flip it into a launchpad for ideas by asking, how might we make the checkout process feel effortless for a first-time shopper? See that? That little shift from a problem to a how might we question just blows the doors wide open for creative solutions. It's a game changer.
All right, with our mission crystal clear, we are ready to shift gears into part 2, building the right solution. This is where we go from thinking to doing, from understanding the problem to actually creating something tangible. And that brings us right to ideation. We have our how might we question, so now it's time to brainstorm. The goal here is simple, quantity over quality. Come up with as many different ideas as you can to answer your question. Seriously, no idea is too crazy at this point. You just want to get it all out there. Okay, so you've got a bunch of great ideas. Now you've got a choice. You can go down the big, risky launch path, which is super expensive if you get it wrong, or you can build some quick, low-risk mockups. This way is cheap, and it gives you tons of chances to learn and get better. That is the whole point of prototyping. You're not building to ship, you're building to learn. And you do not need a high-tech lab to do this. We're talking about the simplest stuff: paper, tape, maybe some glue, and cardboard. You can literally sketch out an entire app on a few pieces of paper. The goal is just to make your idea real enough so that someone can react to it. That's it. Fast and cheap. And once you've got that scrappy prototype, it is time for the moment of truth, the test phase. You take your little creation back to the very same people you talked to in the beginning, and you just hand it to them. And then you watch, you listen, and you learn. Now here is the really crucial mindset shift. The goal of testing is not to prove that your idea is amazing. The goal is to find all the ways it's broken. That feedback you get, it's absolute gold. It shows you exactly what you need to fix, so you can go back, improve the prototype, and test it again, creating this amazing loop of learning. So we've walked through the 5 main steps, but there's one more piece to this puzzle. It's not really a step, though. It's more like the engine that powers the whole entire cycle. It's kind of the secret sauce that makes this whole thing work. That engine is reflection. At every single stage, after you finish an interview, in the middle of brainstorming, right after a test, you have to hit pause and ask your team, okay, what did we just learn? What surprised us? What should we do differently now? This constant habit of reflection is what turns a simple process into a powerful engine for real innovation.
So to bring it all home, what are the big things to remember? Number 1, start with people, not your own assumptions. 2, really truly understand the problem before you even think about building anything. 3, build rough things to learn fast and test them to make them better. And finally, always remember that reflection is the engine that drives all your progress.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Now that you have this framework, just look around. Look at your job, your community, even just the little annoyances in your daily life. What's one problem around you that could really use a more thoughtful, more human-centered solution?